Welcome back to another review. Today we are talking about The Shape of Water. The Shape of Water is directed by Guillermo del Toro, and it stars Sally Hawkins, Michael Shannon, Richard Jenkins, and Octavia Spencer. What this is a romantic story about human connection. It surrounds Elisa, who's played by Sally Hawkins, who's the main character. She's a mute, and she works with Octavia Spencer at this governmental facility as a janitor. There she develops a relationship or a connection with this creature that's being housed there, and then the story kind of unfolds from there. That's all I'm really going to say about the movie, so let's jump into it. Visually, this film is gorgeous. The cinematography is great. I think that as far as the composition and the use of color, it looks absolutely gorgeous, especially the way they set up their shots. Additionally, with the utilization of that color, I think that they really captured the look and the vibe of the 1960s. It had this dreary backdrop, but it really allowed for the colors to pop. There was also a lot of neon there, which helped give and lend to that 1960s vibe. I also loved the musical score behind this. I thought the music was absolutely wonderful to indulge in and hear, and it really added to the levity and that romantic vibe to the film. Del Toro does a fabulous job here, which really can only be expected from him for the most part. I think this is his best film since Pan's Labyrinth and his best movie since Hellboy. What I mean by that is that as a film, or someone who's a film lover, I think this is a better crafted film than Hellboy, but I think Hellboy was a more enjoyable movie. So yeah, it really is his best film since Pan's Labyrinth. It's expertly crafted, well written in terms of the flow of the dialogue and the story. All of the performances were great. There were no weak links, and the strong suits or the big heavy hitters here are definitely Sally Hawkins and Michael Shannon. Sally Hawkins expertly portrays the main character as a mute, and I think she does a great job, and I think it's a little bit understated just because of the fact that she is a mute and she has to truly show everything without giving any audible cues while she's acting and creating this character. Additionally, Michael Shannon is fantastic as always. I've always been a big fan of him as an actor. However, I think this is his best role since Nocturnal Animals, where he was nominated for Best Supporting Actor. I did like him in that movie better, but he does a great job here as well. He's well fleshed out, well written. He expertly plays this kind of villainous asshole. For my cons with the movie, it's a unique and fantastical story, but it failed to truly entrap me. What really caused it was me not being able to truly invest myself into the romance between these two main characters, being Sally Hawkins and, in essence, the creature. I don't want to go into great detail about it, about how that intimacy or connection unfolds on screen, but I didn't truly buy into it, so then I didn't get what I wanted emotionally out of it. It was a sweet and endearing, relatively linear story, plus there are definitely underlying themes of humanity and the idea of the human connection and the importance of it. The main centerpiece that was on screen is what was not grabbing my interest, and so it was harder for me to really get invested into it. Furthermore, the film was tonally inconsistent. It really felt as it was going for this sweet, romantic vibe while also still trying to hit the check marks for a creature flick or a Cold War movie, because it did take bits and pieces of those genres and kind of incorporate it into the movie with this main storyline. In essence, you would get this long string of sequences or kind of this consistent feeling of sweet, endearing, almost romantic vibes, and then all of a sudden there'd be this jarring thing that happens that switches it, and then you'd go right back to that kind of romantic, sweet levity. Also, aside from the nudity that was chosen to be put into it and the random bursts of extreme violence, the movie didn't feel like it was rated R. I'm not saying that's a good thing or a bad thing to be rated R, but it felt as though it was going for this very, very light, sweet, romantic tone, and I'd say 90% of the movie followed that tone and could have almost been in a PG category, and it just felt very, very jarring when all of a sudden you just get a wake-up call that this was a very much so R-rated film, just basically reminding you that yes, hey, this is rated R, just so you know, just remember that. In the end, The Shape of Water is a gorgeous movie with a beautiful score and great performances all the way around. However, for me, it did not live up to the critical hype that was surrounding this movie as one of the best of the year. Plus, the main storyline pertaining to that really romantic aspect that was unfolding on screen just didn't grab me and lost me for a bit. Still, for me, it was an enjoyable, however bizarre, Guillermo del Toro film. I think it's worth seeing, especially if you're into film, if you love film, or if you really enjoyed Del Toro's last movie, specifically kind of harkening back to Pan's Labyrinth, then I'll probably think that you would have a good time with this movie. I still enjoyed it, so I'm gonna have to give it an 8 out of 10. Thank you guys so much for watching once again and tuning in to another review. Let me know down below what you thought about The Shape of Water, and if you haven't seen it, one of Guillermo del Toro's other films, whether that be Pan's Labyrinth or Hellboy or something along those lines, let me know in the comments below. And if you like what my channel has to offer, hit that subscribe button. Thank you for tuning in, and I will see you in the next review.